Hello, hello, everybody. Hello and welcome to Wonder Not Productions presents Circle Up, offering songs and stories through the wires during this bizarre time of existence. I'm your host, resident artist, and producer extraordinaire, Brenda Carsey. Joining me today are artists Zach Jones, Jessica Gerhardt, and Kid Lightning. Tonight, each artist will share one song at a time in a round for a total of 3 rounds with stories and discussion peppered throughout. We will be accepting donations today via both Venmo and PayPal, which will be split evenly amongst all artists. You can Venmo at Brenda Carsey or PayPal contact@brendacarseyart.com and write Circle Up in the memo section. This information is in the description section of this live video as well, so that you can copy paste, and that way it's all easy peasy for everybody out there. And now let's go ahead and bring in our guests. So we have Zach Jones joining us tonight all the way from the East Coast. Bringing in Zach Jones. Welcome to you, Zach. Hello. We have Jessica Gerhardt right here from Pasadena, California, bringing in Jessica. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Hi. And we have Kid Lightning. Let's go ahead and bring in Kid Lightning. Hey. Yay. That's okay.
All right.
Yay. We're all in. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Yay. Happy to hear that. Our phones are set. It's late in Maine, yes?
It is a little late. It's 10 p.m. here.
It's a nice ripe time for us creatures of the night, I feel.
It is. It's the normal rock and roll time.
Yeah. That's why I was like, I figured if we did it at 7 o'clock, it'd be just like exactly at dinner or hopefully post dinner for some people here on the West Coast. And then everyone else across, I'm like, that's the normal time that you'd feel cool as an adult going to a concert.
Except for during quarantine times, 10 o'clock is like bedtime.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I have the opposite problem where like bedtime in quarantine for me is like 3 or 4 in the morning. It's like,
dude, I am. Yes. The ladies are on the same tip because I am all about that. I'm like, it's pointless. I'm not up for any reason, but it's like 1:30 and I'm like, I should probably go to bed. Okay.
I'm starting to enjoy actual mornings for the first time ever, and
yeah,
not like regular working people mornings, but like 9 a.m.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
Yeah, I agree about mornings, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's all right.
Something about mornings, man.
I mean, I don't know about like 7 a.m. mornings, but the 9 a.m. mornings have been nice.
Yeah, that's true. Any earlier than that, it's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd like ideally love to be one of those kinds of people eventually, but I'm not there yet.
I'm surprised that you're not a morning person because you are active with church and with leading like music and that. And I feel like, isn't that a lot of that in the morning?
Actually, for the past 5 years, I've been a worship leader for a 5:30 p.m. Sunday service, which is ideal for my youth ministry lifestyle, my previous life. But recently I started singing for a 9 a.m. service at a church 20-something minutes away from me. And that has been a shift because I will still go to sleep at like 1 on Saturday night. And I'll be like, I'm up. It's 7:30. Oh,
yeah, I feel you. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's tuning in. Again, this is Circle Up. We have Zach Jones, we have Jessica Gerhardt, and we have Kid Lightning here today. Jeff says, hi all, nice to see some music. We're happy to have you, Jeff. Hello, Carla. Just kidding, that's my mom. And hello, and hello, Tom. Hello, Frank. Any of you who are all watching, please feel free to comment and share love. That way we know you're here and we know who is watching, because otherwise we have no idea what eyeball count this is or who you are. But yeah, so let's start off with some music because that is why we're here. So again, this is a songwriter round. We're going to go around and around and around like that. And we, on my screen, we're going to kick things off with Zach Jones tonight, my friends.
All right.
So let's let you take it away and we'll all mute ourselves.
All right. Yeah, you do that. Mute yourselves. All right. This is a song called Like the Tide. It's the last song that I released, and there is more to come. So yeah, starting with Like the Tide. Another year come to an end.
to begin. Getting older sure is strange. Try to embrace, not fear change. Another year come to an end. People and places come and go. Find the strength to carry on. It's so much harder to let go of the things you can't control. People and places come and go. Coming back, drifting away, like the oceans at the shorelines in the bay. When there's nothing left to hide, you can't hold the pain inside. We rise and fall just like the tide. Always lessons to be learned from all the bridges that have burned. Sometimes you can't avoid the fight. Be sure to try to make things right. Always lessons to be learned. Coming back, drifting away, like the oceans at the shorelines in the bay. When there's nothing left to hide, you can't hold the pain inside. We rise and fall just like the tide. Nothing left to hide, you can't hold the pain inside. We rise and fall just like the tide. We rise and fall just like the tide.
Yes. So good. That was so good, Zach. Oh my goodness gracious. Deborah Gerhardt said, awesome song, Zach.
Oh, thank you.
My mom has good taste.
Yes.
She does.
Yay. And also just want to say a quick hello to Lisa and Savannah and Gabby. Hi, Gabby. And Frank and everybody. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everybody.
It made me think of all the times that I've seen you play in a very poignant way. I recognize that distance, that song's like all about distance, and like the time travel quality that music has, at least for people that love it. You know, I was in that room. I was thinking very, like, I had a very vivid image of you at Bedrock, and it was very poignant, the slanted amber light, and like, gorgeous, man. But I miss you more now.
Aw, I miss you too. I miss all you guys. Yeah. I'm so happy to see you, but it's so strange to be on the internet and not in this room.
Agreed.
That's very true. It is weird. I miss you too. I used to see Zach every single week, just about for almost a year. So I'm like,
exactly a year.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's right. It was like almost like it was like a week past maybe.
Yeah, we like celebrated our year
That's
anniversary
right.
of doing the open mic at Highland Park Bowl, and all of a sudden it was like, you guys are done. The world is done. Go home.
So sad.
All at
But
once.
but you know what? We're here. That song was beautiful. I definitely relate to. I know that I feel like Jessica and I are like water vibes and like ups and downs. Absolutely. Okay. And speaking of segueing to Jessica, you're next in the round, my dear.
Next.
Yes. So if
Okay.
you could please tell us about your first song or the title or whatever.
Yeah,
We'll all
sure.
mute ourselves here.
Cool. Yeah. So I was thinking about like the themes in Zach's song. So I was like, I think I'm actually gonna play a different song. I often don't like especially for songwriter rounds, I'm like, I don't know, I have like a roster of songs I might select from, and then I kind of decide in the moment usually what I'm gonna play. So I was like, ooh, I think I'm gonna play this other song because it has like ocean kind of vibes in it, but also just a song about vulnerability, and I felt like vulnerability was also a theme in Zach's song. So this song is called Little Love, and there's like a video on YouTube. I submitted it for the Tiny Desk contest earlier this year. So there's a little acoustic video of it, and just played it in my roommate's room because it was after quarantine when I decided to submit. But the audio sounds pretty nice actually for like a one take uke and vocals into one mic situation. So anywho, if you feel like checking it out there, you can. But yeah, so this is Little Love. And I also just got this uke recently. One of the cool things that happened recently during quarantine is I signed a little sponsorship deal with Lanakai. So they sent me this. It's a baritone uke, and I've been learning guitar. So this kind of translates because it's just the bottom 4 strings of a guitar. Anywho, okay, so this is Little Love. I've got a little love growing in my heart, just like a tree. The roots are buried deep, branches tall, now they're bearing leaves. It's growing pretty tall, and I can see for miles and miles up here. I've got a little room at the top if you want to climb on up as well, my dear. Are you afraid of heights? Are you afraid of what might happen if you were to fall? I've got a little love expanding in my heart, just like the sea. It's stretching far and wide, deep and blue, with waves untamed and free. This current's pretty strong, and it's pulling me far out beyond the shore. And yet the water's clear, I can see my toes, I can see the ocean floor. Are you afraid to dive in? Are you my dear. And when you're ready, this little love will be right here.
Yes.
Thank y'all.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Aw, that was really, really touching.
Should make a compilation album with our ocean themed.
Yeah, all the water themes. I'm into it. I have another song called Aquarius. Just pour the water, just all the water songs together.
It was really beautiful. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah. You know what had never occurred to me is, this is kind of, I'm being vulnerable in saying this, but it never occurred to me that we so casually use the word fall to describe ourselves in love, as if gravity was just a natural force inherent in being alive. Like love is just a natural force inherent in being alive. And all the fear is around recovery, not so much that we can overcome it, because you can't overcome it, it's inevitable. I just really love that. It never occurred to me before, sadly.
Well, yeah. That's super cool though, that like that inspired a revelation for you. Neat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yay.
Write a song about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now you can just, and then it just keeps circling and circling around. Segue. For our next song, we're going to have Kid Lightning croon us with some beautiful music, my dear. So go ahead and take it away with your first song.
All right. This is a song about the times that we live in, and the perspective that I think a lot of people in our generation have about the responsibility now put on our shoulders. It's becoming clearer and clearer every day, the changes that need to happen. And so this song's about that, what it feels like. I'm a kid from the turn of the century, predisposed to addictions and fantasy. I've been handed a world without tact or fact. I've been handed a burden that I can't hand back. Living in the end of the empire. Yes, I'm living in the end of the empire. Look at all this money just fueling the fire. Oh, I'm living in the end of the empire. The debt that we carry, the likes of which you've never seen, has corrupted the dream. I hope the wealthy in the world will soon come to see the state of the world we'll be inheriting. Living in the end of the empire. Yes, I'm living in the end of the empire. Look at all this money just fueling the fire. Oh, I'm living in the end of the empire. Can't talk to my parents cause they won't understand. It's a new kind of war that we're fighting. And I hope we can find a new kind of creed, one that puts need above greed. And maybe it's time for it all to burn to the ground, so we can bury the gold, so we can bury the crown. Yes, I'm living in the end of the empire. Oh, I'm living in the end of the empire. And look at all this money just fueling the fire. Oh, I'm living in the end of the empire. I'm a kid from the turn of the century, predisposed to addictions and fantasy. I've been handed a world without tact or fact. I've been handed a burden that I can't hand back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such a great song. Even though people can find weight in it, I still think it's pungent and informative and true.
It's like deeply, deeply relevant. When did you say you wrote this? Did you say you wrote when?
Like last year.
Wow. Yeah. It feels like I mean, I think it's probably always kind of relevant, sadly, but also like positively. But yeah, especially it feels super relevant right now.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, I think art has a timeless quality to it sometimes, where you maybe get something that doesn't make sense until a year or two later, maybe 5 years later, and then you're like, oh, some part of me was picking up on that. Some extraordinary sense, you know?
Absolutely.
I've heard you play that at Highland Park Bowl before.
Yeah.
Weird
yes.
to I heard you playing that was in a room full of people, and now you're in your bedroom, and probably like where you were when you wrote it. Maybe, I don't know. House, but in a similar situation. But also, you know, I hope that this is more maybe the beginning of a new, the dawning of a new age, even if it is the end of the empire as we've known it.
Right. Yeah, I think that there's like a sense of hopefulness in the song. Like the end of the empire could be a very good thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is a good thing.
I mean, like Star Wars, right?
Yes, exactly. There you go. Now
exactly. Also so relevant.
Yes, it's always relevant. I was gonna say, will you check to see if that little green, that toggle is on for the sound thing? Because it didn't sound like it was, but we were already in it.
Oh, yeah, now it is.
I can tell. Yeah, that's all right. But it's just gonna be smooth and silky from here on out. Yeah, but that was awesome. I'm gonna jump into my first song now. Thanks. So for my first song, I'm going to do a song called But You're Alive, because and again, this is one of those songs, I feel like a lot of my songs, I have that experience where I write it at a particular time and then I find that it becomes more and more true as time passes. So this song is about, you know, being depressed and being sad and being stuck inside of your house. I wrote this way before COVID. And coming to terms with the fact that you're still alive and you still have to live, and you know what living looks like might shift and change, but it's that inner drive to try to find the beautiful in the ugly and all of that. So here it goes. Skin feels numb, tingling fingers, damp skin, falling from exhaustion, but you're alive, closer than a winter storm, thoughts closer than a winter storm. They come to swallow. Familiar snooze, familiar room, stuck inside it like a tomb, sleeping in no sun on skin, but you're alive, closer than a winter storm, thoughts closer than a winter storm. They come to swallow. Feeling dumb, it's pretty fun. Pacify and become body mass, a soul detached, but you're alive, closer than a winter storm. Your thoughts, closer than a winter storm. They come to swallow. Hold tight and stay on the ride. Rise up, don't shrink and hide. Haven't you been told that you are seen? Haven't you been told that life is just a dream? Closer than a winter storm.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. That's that song.
Beautiful.
I really wish that I could like set up this way and like look and play, but then I couldn't. Then I can't reach the computer. It's like where.
Yeah.
But I feel separated. But I haven't played that in so long either. I haven't played that literally since the open mic was open, since before all this. So that felt good.
It's beautiful. Your voice, you have such a just beautiful, raspy, kind of smoky timbre to your voice. Like every time I hear you sing, and I'm just like, Brenda's voice though. It's so beautiful. And like when you belt, it's like, you have a good knack for holding notes too.
Thank you. Yeah, breath control.
Yeah.
I miss, like, more than anything, I miss singing in a big space where your voice is being amplified and reverbified and it's in a giant room. I miss that more than anything. Just that feeling. I feel like the voice is very much spirit, and I because I'm connected to that part of me, it doesn't intimidate me to be heard and be loud. But I like miss that like giant just feeling of expansive letting go-ness and like swimming and like messing around with my voice with like different like effects, and like, man, I miss that. So I appreciate it. I feel like my style of singing was very much developed because of the kind of shows that I do and because of the venues that I play. It's like messing around in that environment that, you know, in different environments that like teach you to sing different ways. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I miss it. But yeah, I felt like, and then today I was like, what song should I play? And I was like, oh my gosh, that song is even more relevant now than when I wrote it, because we're literally stuck inside.
Yeah, the image of the like the room kind of being like a tomb, like the space that you normally think of as rest becomes like feels like a resting place in a different kind of way. And yeah, that felt very poignant in these days. But
yeah. But you're still alive. But you're alive, so you know.
You choose to do with that what you will, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I see Zach preparing. I feel the energies.
I was trying to cut you off.
No, I'm a sucker for a good segue. So I just dive right in because I'm really like trying to thrive in this, radio personality environment. Thanks for joining us, Zach Jones. All right. You have your next song for us. Here we go. Take it away.
Thank you. So actually, Brenda, if you like a good segue, I am about to spend my first winter in Maine for, it's been like a decade or so since the last time I spent a whole winter in Maine. I came back to Maine in March, like pretty much as soon as they announced that things were closing down in Los Angeles, which I think they were like a couple weeks ahead of most other states there. I basically just panic fled the city and came back to Maine, thinking at the time that I'd only be gone for like 3 to 8 weeks. And so I'm just this or next week getting ready to actually go back to LA and move out of my apartment that I've been holding on to this whole time, thinking that I'd be back there. I fully plan on going back there once it's safe. So getting ready to spend winter in Maine. I haven't done that in forever. So this song is called Song in the Sunshine because I need to get out and enjoy what's left of the summer before the snow and the cold comes in. Um, as I said, it's been a decade since my last winter in Maine, but my recollection of it is you already feel like you're stuck inside with not much to do. I don't play winter sports. I don't ski or anything like that. So yeah, this one is going to be extra difficult. So here's a song about sitting outside in the nice weather, enjoying music and thinking of somebody that is far away. So this is another one that is extra relevant all of a sudden in COVID times. Song in the Sunshine. The song is shorter than the explanation that I just gave for it.
Lazing about in the afternoon, headphones on her ears, blaring a lonely tune. She's thinking of me, it's true. But today she's got nothing to do but to waste all her time with a song in the sunshine. So lazy the day just melts away. Ice cold beer in my hands, not a word to say, since I can't shake her out of my mind. I'll just daydream about her and I, wasting our time with a song in the sunshine. But there's always a cloud in the sky. It'll stay there until her and I find our way through this maze. Spend lazy days wasting our time with a song in the sunshine.
Well, I'll say hot damn.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, Jessica, congratulations on your Lanikai endorsement.
Oh, well, thank you.
I know. You said that when we were all muted. That's a good point. Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you. Yeah. I was going to say, to your song, I loved the just that imagery of like wasting time, because I was single for a few years, and my spiritual director would talk about, like, in prayer, whatever your understanding of God is, just giving yourself permission to waste time with God. And like, you know, like contemplation, meditation, prayer, whatever that looks like, and like allowing yourself to like fall deeply in love with your higher power, your God. And yeah, and I feel like that really helped me grow spiritually. And then I recently started dating somebody during quarantine, crazily enough. And just, it's been really enjoyable to just waste time with him.
It's also not wasting time anymore once it's good for your mental health and your well-being and all that.
Well, I just mean, like, you know, the idea of wasting time, right? Like, I'm not like, okay, let's maximize, like we need to be productive with our, you know, it's just like the joy of being present with someone, you know, that like, I just think that's such a beautiful.
Yeah. Wasting time is just slang for hanging out. That's all it really, it's just slang.
It's exactly the way that I meant it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like shooting the shit. We're not literally shooting pieces of shit at each other. It just means that we're talking. Wasting time. Wasting time is the same. It's one of those funny American colloquialisms that someone invented at some point in time that all of us don't know where it came from.
Well, I have wasted lots of time in the past, but
literally.
It also,
wasting time is not wasting time.
yes. Yeah. And like, I'm reading a book. I'm reading The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield right now with a group of artist friends. We just finished the artist day, and then we like, let's keep meeting as a group via Zoom and like read a new book. So we're reading The War of Art, and he talks about the importance of discerning what is important from what is urgent. And he says, do what is important first. So like all those emails or like administrative busy work things that you feel like you have to do, like that can be urgent, but like it's important to remember what's important. So like that, sometimes the wasting time is actually the most needed.
I have told Will to read that book like now multiple times. I read it. I should probably, maybe we could read it together, because I read that book, but it was years ago and I was definitely a different person at that point. And I'm sure that I would get something different out of it now at my age than I did back when I was a wee lass in my 20s.
Slightly related to art talk and praxis and stuff. Zach, your songwriting I've always admired for, like there's this quality that songwriters who listen to a lot of music have, where they can paint with forms that are recognizably related to whole catalogs of like feeling, you know, in just a phrase. And that like minor second chord, that's the second chord you play, I'm like, dude, that is resonating with every like profound song that I realized when I was a kid I didn't understand, but I'm like, wow, this is profound. Like that chord to me is so painting with that bold brushstroke. And it's just cool because I'm like in my, and I'm seeing these pop art pictures of like, boom, this feeling, like, you know, the palette of feelings based off of these referenced chords, and I'm like, that's so cool. That's like a very rare skill. It's awesome, man.
Hey babe, really quick, Miranda says praxis makes perfects.
I think that's to her. Yeah, I said it to everybody.
I just had to let you know she's watching. And then and also Deborah said that we all have such beautiful gifts of voice, song, talent, and beauty.
Aww.
My mom's a sweetheart.
Thank you. Speaking of Jessica's mom, segue. Let's go, Jessica, doing her second song, my dear. Take us away into the journey. Take it away.
Cool. Will do. Yeah, so this next song I'm going to play is actually brand spanking new. I have only like played it as like a tester, like a couple people close to me. So I'm excited to perform it. And this song is it's called Don't Be So Hard on Yourself. Because my roommate's boyfriend was working on something. He was like repairing something and he messed it up and he's like, damn. And he was like beating himself up about it. And I was like, hey man, don't be so hard on yourself. And then I just had this idea like, don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Who are you kidding? I was like, ooh, this song needs to be written. And then it nagged at me like a little kid that's like, Mom, I want to play for a while. And I was just like, I got to write it. So finally wrote it. So here's the song. And it's like a dialogue between my inner critic and my inner loving guide voice. So, oh, look. Made another mistake. What the hell is wrong with you? Can't you do anything right? Just face it. See yourself for who you are. You're nothing but a screw up. You might as well give up the fight. But wait just a second, where did that voice come from? I don't seem to know, but here's another one. No, don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Who are you kidding? Nobody's perfect. No, nobody is. Don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Give yourself messed it up again. How you gonna make amends? There's no taking it back. I'm not cool, I'm trying to keep you safe. There's danger in having faith, making up for what you lack. Don't listen to that critic, you've got nothing to prove. You got freedom to make decisions, and it's all up to you. Oh, don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Who are you kidding? Nobody's perfect. No, nobody is. Don't be so hard on yourself, kid. We all make mistakes. When the world comes down on you, you don't have to take it. Even when you can't seem to get anything right, take heart, dear, don't sweat it, and don't give up the fight. And don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Nobody's perfect. No, nobody is. Don't be so hard on yourself, kid. We all make mistakes. When the world comes down on you, you don't have to take it. Don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Just lighten up a bit. Nobody's perfect. No, nobody is. Don't be so hard on yourself, kid. Just let a little love in. Be gentle with yourself. You're worth it.
Yes. Love.
Yeah. Ow!
I love it. It's really good. It's really good. You already know that though, because that's how it works. I'm tired of artists being modest. It's fucking good. You know when an artist, when a good song is a good song is a good song. That was really great. That was really cute. And I love songs like that where like the verse is a different like character or perspective or like, you know what I'm saying? I love like interplays like that between verses and choruses and bridges and stuff.
I mean, obviously the message is fantastic, but you've also utilized basically all of my favorite songwriting tricks.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
You know, like the major to minor chord, or like the the dominant seven to major seven to dominant seven movement. Like I love that stuff so much. Like I can hear like the whole arrangement in my head already. Like
yes. So Gabby says, so very relatable and a positive message that we all need to be reminded of. The inner critic can be so cruel. Thank you for bringing this song to life. That's so sweet.
Aw, thanks, Gabby.
And Savannah said, amen. And we had some good advices from some other people too.
Thank you all. Yeah. It's advice that I give myself, and I've been finding it, like helpful for other people to be reminded of too. So it's always nice when you write a song that is not only like, maybe aesthetic or like musically functional, but also like has meaning and like can actually be just like helpful on a lot of levels to someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like, that's why I booked all of this crew that you guys are all seeing out there, because I feel that everyone that's on the screen right now writes songs that are meaningful. Like every song that we write for the most part is, I would say that most of you guys write pretty meaningful songs. That's what I think. Amen. Speaking of meaningful songs, let's go ahead and segue over to Kid Lightning to play his second song, because this is a meaningful song. I think.
I hope so.
I don't know what you're playing, but I am assuming what you're playing.
If I don't contribute to the realm of meaning, I've completely failed, and like art is completely useless if it doesn't do that. So that's the only thing that we can contribute to is that realm of meaning.
Take it away. Excited to hear your next song. Take it away.
Thanks. This song is about the really complicated relationship we have to our histories, particularly now. I think that we live in an age where suddenly we're capable of researching or learning more about history than we ever have before. Anybody can. It's not as privileged as it used to be. So the revelations that come with that are invariably difficult, but this song is about how you can accept responsibility for it and how responsibility is not the same thing as guilt. I think universal guilt is not the same thing as responsibility in so many ways. Guilt is inactive, responsibility is active. And the only way we're going to get through all this BS is if we can find some way to be active in our responsibility and transcend a guilt kind of thing. And this is also about my parents. My mom's celebrating her birthday soon, so happy birthday, Mom. And thank you for all the fighting that you did for the freedoms that we're still trying to fight for. They're still worthy, and we hear you. Your call resonates even now. Father, I know you fought this fight before. You went to war, you built a house for me. And after all you've done, how could it come to this? After all you've done, how could it come to this? History repeats itself. Blood and money. Blood and money, blood and money. History repeats itself. Blood and money. Blood and money, blood and money. Mother, I know you fought this fight before. You waded through a mire of chauvinists. After all you've done, how could it come to this? After all you've done, how could it come to this? History repeats itself. Blood and money. Blood and money, blood and money. History repeats itself. Blood and money. Blood and money, blood and money. 19 on a C-135. Too young to drink but not to die. 18 in the bottom of a Boston basement. A warrior of choice even then. Another single mother puts a star up on the flag. After all she's done, how could it come to this? History repeats itself. Blood and money. Blood and money, blood and money. History repeats itself. Blood and money. Blood and money, blood and money, blood and money, oh.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's so powerful. Oh, yeah, you were right, Brenda. Definitely meaningful.
Super powerful, I love that song so much. Will already knows it about me.
Yeah, that lyric about like being like too young to drink and too old, or too young to drink but not to like fight or to die.
To die, exactly.
Yeah. So such a very good observation that our country should observe.
Yeah.
Irony.
Deborah said, also text your mom and tell her that, or if Deborah, if you're watching, you are replying constantly to Carla and not to the whole group. So only I can see everything. So make sure you switch it to everyone and not to a specific person. But she said to Will, you must be a very old soul. Your lyrics reflect incredible awareness.
Thank you. I think the times that I dip into the stories of like my elders and my parents are obviously very close to me in that they carry a lineage with them of stories of the life that they've lived. And when I tap into that, I find a universality that's really interesting. I think if we shared more stories of our families and particularly of individuals' trajectories, or if we cared more to share that with one another, we'd find that we have far more in common than not. And particularly in the fight for freedom, I think that's such a signature of being an American. And whether you're on the right side or the wrong side, there's an incredible emotional story there that I think is universal to everybody who lives in this country now. I mean, it's complicated, obviously, but we're capable of listening deeply to one another. I think that could really help.
Yeah. I also wanted to share that Gabby says, speaking the hard truths, and my mom said reflections of the 1960s from my life, which, yeah, like some of the parts in that song are talking about like Will's actual parents are written into that song. Bonnie finally figured out how to join because I just like copy pasted the link and pasted it on your wall. So welcome. Also, when this is all done, Bunny, you'll have to rewind and listen because Will like gave you a really beautiful shout out. But I'll do it right now too. Happy early birthday, Bonnie!
Happy birthday!
Woo! That's Will's mom.
Hey, Will, have you ever thought about speaking with a Liverpool accent? Because I feel like I could listen to you talk forever, and I think that I'm listening to George Harrison.
Yeah, pull it out. You could do it.
I think it would add some sort of legitimacy to me.
That's all about Ringo, though. I'm thinking George.
I like this up there.
Yeah.
Nothing. That's a great idea.
That was so funny. So I'm gonna hop into my second song for y'all now, and so the second song that I'm gonna do is called "Rebel Walls," that I also have not played in such a long time, and I felt like so this song is one of those songs that I did not write consciously. It's one of the very few times I dreamed and I remembered my dream. And my dream was a song and this melody and these words. And I woke up and I used to have a piano right by my bed where I used to live. And I just like wrote it down right away and played it and just stuck in my head. And I didn't write the verse until much, much later. And the song I feel has taken on its own life. And I feel like there's a lot of political energy in the song, even if I didn't intentionally do it. But so this is Rebel Walls. Figured I'd stop talking there, let the song explain itself. All right. Break down these rebel walls. Break down these rebel walls. Let the waters carry me. Never have to think about the world outside of me. Tear down these broken homes. Tear down these broken homes. Let the current set me free. Never let the creatures crawl inside this hollow head before I'm gone. You are not me, and you won't gain control, even if you strip the ocean free of everything we know. See, heaven has said, you know you should be on your way back home, but you're never going home. Break down these rebel walls. Tear down these broken hearts. Let the current set me free. Never let the creatures crawl inside this hollow head before I'm gone. You won't let me in, you won't gain control, even if you strip the ocean free of everything we know. See, everything it says, you know you should be on your way back home, but you're never going home.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite.
Oh, thank you guys.
Girl, your voice, you belted. It was like, oh hell yeah, woman. Yeah, girl.
Oh, thank you so much. Ay, man.
In incredible range of dynamics on that song.
Oh,
And that is another one where, like, especially your big instrumental outro. First of all, fantastic piano playing as well.
thank you.
Kate Bush vibes.
I can hear the whole like orchestral arrangement happening around you.
Yes, it's in my head for sure. It's
Too.
all in my head. I have to let it be known that literally in the middle of that song, there is either skunks under our house again, or they're right out front, because there is a huge plume of skunk smoke in this room right now. It's like, I mean, it's really, really bad. So it either happened outside this window here, or they're underneath our house, because it's like full onion in here, babe. Full onion.
Skunks, kids that live in the neighborhood.
They lived with us for 2 months under our house, and we couldn't get them out.
Oh,
And we had it kind of all situated and figured out. So I hope that they're just out front, but it smells like they're underneath, which means that they got back in and ripped off the meshing off the side of the house again. So we'll just have to check that out after this show. So I was like, because last time when it gets really bad, I actually cry like onions. It's actually that pungent when it's in your house. And I was like, oh no, keep playing no matter what, just play through the feelings.
But that's the sign of a true professional, right? Like when, no matter what, you know, like come hell or high water, you finish the damn song.
That's so true. Before we get too far into Skunktown, I just want to talk through that song with you guys, if that's okay, because I feel like because I still don't know exactly what I meant when I wrote it, but like when I like look back and reflect on it, especially the chorus, but I don't know, like I'm thinking about this time right now, and like breaking down like all of these, just all the crazy shit that's happening, and like just tearing it all down, and then like saying like you're not me, like you don't own me, you're not in charge of me, you're not in control of me, even if you like ruin this planet, even if you kill all the animals, even if you do it, like I still want to be on the side that's fighting for something that's worthwhile and something that's meaningful and something that's kind and like compassionate. And I feel like that's what I meant when I was saying like heaven had sent, like that's us to earth. And it's like, you should be on your way home, is like connecting to where you're from, but you're never going home, because like there's a lot of just unhealthy people on this planet. And I feel like the meaning of that song is just being pulled out of me like through these times even more.
Yeah, and I like how you said healthy, unhealthy people, because I think like all the people that were like, oh, what a shit human being, or like what an asshole, they're just deeply spiritually unhealthy. Like there's just so much toxic illness riddling their hearts, right? Like, not to excuse any behaviors, but like but underlying any shitty behavior is like a deep illness. And I think a lot of people in this world, unfortunately, are very ill.
Absolutely. Will and I definitely talk about that a lot. I don't want to steal your beautiful quote from you, but it's the trouble of the times, babe.
What's that? I don't even remember.
Well, so Will told me this like literally 2 years ago, so it's not even a new thing, but again, more and more relevant. But Will said that. Go ahead.
I mean, this is really contentious to say this, but I think the biggest human rights issue in our time is mental health, and just how we deal with the spectrum of that. We don't have the infrastructure in place in regards to like power or even just like, bureaucratic stuff. We don't have anything to accommodate that spectrum. We certainly don't have it in our schools, and we don't have it in any sort of very basic infrastructure. So
right.
I think that will probably be the biggest challenge we all face, is that spectrum.
I totally agree with that. And I think that sentiment of like mental health being a civil rights issue of our time relates to everything. It relates to how someone could mistreat and abuse someone for how they look. That's a fucking mental like illness. That's like, I don't understand what the fuck's going on there. And then like how we either have or lack compassion and empathy, like the inability to have the feeling of connection to somebody else is also a different form of illness. And then there's like obvious forms of illness that, we offer medication and stuff, but we need to definitely, I'm like stuttering a lot because I'm all emotional with this topic, but like we need to like find ways to offer like connection and rehabilitation and like love and like situations that can heal people in a real way.
Yeah. Wholeheartedly agree. Yeah, because I think any issue that you see societally is, just a macro effect of like micro experiences. And I have a lot of my like sort of mental health and recovery journey personally has involved like looking at kind of like my own inner kid. And that sounds really hooey wooey, whatever, but like it's everyone started out as a kid. Like the biggest jerks we can think of in our world today started out as little kids who came into this world all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and then like shit in the world happened to them, and all that they became as adults is like based on like the coping behaviors that they learned.
Absolutely.
And again, not to justify shitty behavior, but behavior is learned. I was a psych major, so I'm just like, I'm like
totally geeking. I'll geek with you so hard, girl.
Yeah, but I don't want to take up too much time. But anyway,
we shouldn't, but I love it.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah. We should just have another call after this, because I'm all about that psych life too. But all of it.
Thing really quickly, a great word to use when you're talking to people about the societal mental health spectrum issue is dignity. Being able to provide dignity to people, I think, is really the crucial issue. We've always had systemic problems with that in this country, differentiating between wealth and dignity, jobs and dignity. So it's a really great pivot word never to start considering a person in that transactional landscape.
That's a great sentiment and word. Thank you. We should all. That's a great jumping off point for a conversation. And possibly a segue into Zach Jones's third and final song. Before we start this last round, friends, this is actually, the show's going longer than I thought, but it's because we're having such great discussion. But I did want to say, again, we are accepting donations and tips for this show. It's written in the description of this video. You can do Venmo or PayPal. Venmo is at Brenda Carsey. PayPal is contact@BrendaCarseyArt.com. Write circle up in the memo section. All the money will be split evenly between artists. Thank you to those of you who donated last time. We actually were able to like pay everybody out like a decent amount of money last time, which was really exciting, unexpected. So if you can offer a donation and you're in a place to do that, that'd be wonderful. If you're not, I hope you're enjoying the music anyway, because we're doing it anyway. All right, Zach, take it away, my friend.
All right. Yeah, so this is a song about, I guess, the positive side of humanity. You know, friendship and being there, friendship and family and love and being there for people and being able to be there for them in return. I am lucky to have two excellent parents, and I am also lucky to have a lot of excellent friends like all of you. So this is a song called There For Me, and it goes like this.
I need a friend, you see. You're always there for me. 'Cause I needed everything, and you would do anything for me. You were always there for me. Yeah, you were always there. Yeah, you were always there for me. Yeah, you were always there. You know I would do the same. Wouldn't let you suffer any pain. There's no limit to what I do for you. So what do you want me to do? 'Cause you were always there for me. Yeah, you were always there. You were always there for me. Yeah, you were always there. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. You showed me right from wrong. That's why you're in my song. When I couldn't think of anything, you gave me some words to sing. That's why you're always there for me. Yeah, you were always there. Yeah, you were always there for me. Yeah, you were always there. Yeah, you were always there for me.
really great last song for your third song. That was so good. It was really sweet and touching.
I love that bass line that you put boom, boom, boom. That's so good and cute, but also just the message.
Yeah, good message, cute and good. All the things.
All of the
That's
things.
great. Yeah, so I'm very excited because I originally I really wanted to play a show with Zach, and I was like, and then you could sing with me and play with me, and then I'll sing with you and play with you, and it'll be like this awesome thing. And then we're kind of doing it, but I like was imagining harmonizing right now with you. That would be so fun.
One of these days, we're gonna do it for real.
Yeah, we will. We will. Jessica, let's hear your third and final song of the evening.
All right. And yeah, I was really stoked when you invited me to be a part of this lineup because I met Zach when I played a show at the Love Song Bar, and he was doing sound, and then connected again at the Highland Park Bowl. And he sent me a link to his music too, and so I got to hear it digitally, but it's cool to finally like see you performing live, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like, you know, obviously doing sound is see a lot of bands and a lot of musicians and stuff like that, but there are certain people that leave a mark, and you were definitely one. And immediately after, I was like, she's really good.
Oh my gosh!
Aww, that's
thanks,
so
Zach.
sweet.
That means a lot because yeah, you do hear a lot of artists. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, for my third song, I'm gonna also change gears from what I thought I would play that I had in mind, because I'm like, I like segues, and I'm like, okay, well, what was the theme in the last song? So I'm gonna play a song. It's a sad song, but it's also like a joyful, hopeful song. And it's also kind of about like having faith and trust that someone is still with you even after they pass away. My grandma passed away last year in March on her 79th birthday. And so part of my grieving process was songwriting. For a lot of us as songwriters, we often write from a place of our experience. And whenever we're feeling stuff, we like get it out through music. And so I was just processing like grief and like sadness at losing my grandma, but also just like a whole spectrum of like spiritual stuff, like having faith in some ways, and then also like questioning a lot of things and just existential mortality things related to that. But yeah, so I wrote this song called Keep It Simple, and I released it on the anniversary of her passing / what would have been her 80th birthday, because she always used to say when we'd get into these deep, heady, spiritual, theological conversations, she would just be like, Jessie, keep it simple, you know, don't overcomplicate, and not in a way to like discredit or like squash me like asking questions or like thinking deeply, but sometimes we get so hyped up in like the minutia, and it's like at the end of the day, some things are just mystery, and we like can't have all the answers. And sometimes the deepest and most profound truths are the simplest ones. So this song is called Keep It Simple. And yeah, it's on Yield Spotty if anyone wants to give it a listen, a spin, as they say, but not really, because it's not a record, it's just digital. All right, anyway, here's the song. You'd bend to no one's will but your own. Save for Jesus, for him you'd lay it all down. Keep it simple, you'd say with a smile, when my restlessness and questions would abound. What have you got to lose if you trust? What have you got to give of yourself? I know you laid it all trying. Yes, I'm trying to believe. As the sun falls down and the leaves turn gold, you're with me, you're with me. When the snowflakes fall on my cheeks and nose, you kiss me, but you kiss me. When blossom petals cloak the grass, when the light breaks in after the storms pass, on the longest day when the sun falls down, you're with me. How do I move through doubt, thick as sand? How do I hear your voice in the quiet? I know you laid it all in his hands, so that's where I'll go when I need to know. As the sun falls down and the leaves turn gold, you're with me, you're with me. When snowflakes fall on my cheeks and nose, you kiss me, you kiss me. When blossom petals cloak the grass, on the day you were born and you breathed your last. On the longest day, when the sun falls down, you're with me, you're with me. I know you're with me, you're with me.
Yes. That was really sweet. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure it was like both healing and also intense to write that song. But it's really beautiful.
Thank you.
I just got 4 early era Bonnie Raitt albums a couple days ago.
Oh yeah.
That song sounds like a song I could hear Bonnie Raitt singing.
Yeah,
oh,
that's so true.
Yeah, I like that. That's really a lovely compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I love this like last round. I'm feeling like the hopeful vibes, and I think it's going to be a perfect segue into Kid Lightning's third and final song. So let's go ahead and transition into that and take it away, my friend, my more than friend.
This song is about forgiveness. They say acceptance is the answer to all of your problems. I think forgiveness is the answer to all of our problems. So the song's about that. Peacemaker with a button in his lip bears the brunt of what his mother said. Oh, he's got some secret vices, but they don't fulfill the need. Lover behind her swimming eyes and innocence and willingness to still believe. But on her Jim Beam legs, she can't find the balance that she needs. They're no strangers to the pain of living, only strangers to forgiving. They're no strangers to the pain of living, only strangers to forgiving. And you can love anyone once you know where they're coming from. Preacher with a cigarette lit sets fire to his lungs and his ire. Chimney desperate proclamations of the one and only truth. Oh, the proof is in his misery and the mystery's in the proof. senator. What gives value to a man? Is it the money he can spend? Oh, you're too young to die, but too old to understand. Yes, you're too young to die, but too old to understand. They're no strangers to the pain of living, only strangers to forgiving. They're no strangers to the pain of living, only strangers to forgiving. And you can love anyone once you know where they're coming from. Well, it seems we can no longer read the sand-written poems the earth would leave to court the human heart. So I'll sing what I see, written in the Red Canyon cliffs. The feeling that all hearts seek is love, and love is found in forgiveness. The feeling that all hearts seek is love, and love is found in forgiveness.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah. God.
Wow, that was so great.
That was harmonies. I was like, I haven't heard you sing harmonies on that in a long time. I was taken away. I was like,
Oh
totally.
no.
Those were gorgeous harmonies. And Will, do you have those lyrics anywhere to just visualize? Because I'm a visual person, and like as I was hearing them, I was like, wait, come back. What was that? That was so like there was just so many good lyrics. Sequentially, I want to be able to read through them again. I'd love to.
Isn't that song? You're releasing that at some point, right?
Yeah. So we just released that Blood and Money song. I made a whole album, LP, in quarantine with Brenda. She co-produced it and did harmonies on it, and we mixed and mastered it ourselves and stuff. So we're releasing singles incrementally. We just released the second single, which is Blood and Money, and then we're going to be releasing the album in September, and that song's on that with 12 other ones. So
Yeah.
and
couple.
all that material too. So
I mean, I love that song too. Will is a really great writer, both literally and songwriting, not just songwriting is what I meant by the word literally. But yeah.
Yeah, you guys are a dynamic duo. Dang.
She's got more dynamism than me, for sure.
You got what?
She's got more dynamism than me, I think.
No way. I got more dynamite. Okay, that's it though. I'm just kidding. Shut me up. Oh my goodness. Well, I thought that was great. I guess I'll just jump into my next, my last song. Your mom said, wish you could hear us cheering and clapping, Will. And Deborah said, no end to your talents. My mom said, great blend. And Gabby said, beautiful harmonies. Gabby, thank you for watching this song. I expect our parents to. You guys have to. But thank you for everyone else who's not our parents who's watching.
Yeah, loving all the parent love coming in.
Thank you. Speaking of parents, what a great segue. This next and last song of mine is called Home. And I wrote this song about my parents. So here we go. I hope you enjoy, Mama and Dad. I was born in the winter, but where I'm from, that means the sun was shining, and my mom was wed to a dream girl. She struggled hard as he kept on fighting. Then she went out on her own, and together we crossed the county line, her head held high, with me in her arms, set out to find ourselves a new life. Oh, you'll never know which way the winds will blow. Can't guess how the currents will bring you home, but they'll bring you home. Then she met another man, and this man sure did treat her right. Stood tall, yes, he stood strong, and held us both as his shining lights, treated me just like a father should, played with me and taught me about life, firm as a rock, soft as a feather, a humble man to act as my guide. Oh, you'll never know which way the winds will blow. Can't guess how the currents will bring you home, but they'll bring you home. Ooh, 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 la, la, la. I was born in a city where all the lights shine oh so bright. Every day is such a journey, flowing through with just a bit of fight. Give me a world in a maze, and I'll climb it and find my own way. Give me some truth, and I'll preach it, 'cause I always got something to say. everybody. I appreciate that.
That was beautiful, gorgeous, Brenda.
Oh, thank you. I haven't played any of these songs in so long. It feels very releasing to play and to play them for some people that are like actually here hanging out with me and not just the digital sphere. So thank you for listening. I mean, I feel like that's another song that I wrote for my parents. I assume you guys are still watching, but I love you guys very much. And also just like, it's so true right now. It's like, you don't know what's coming. You don't know where the currents are blowing from and where they're going to take you. But sometimes, not even sometimes, but like if you just let go and you trust that you don't have to be in charge of it or in control of it, it all has its own way of working out, you know, and that's the story. And I feel like we're kind of living that right now. It seems like this unknown that's so dark and confusing and heavy, because it is, but like if we can just make it through that darkness and make it through this fight and make it through these lessons, I know that there's something magnificent on the other side. I just know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how are you all feeling about that?
No, I'm with you. And I was just thinking about how many songwriters write a song called Home, because I have one called Home, or like
right, that's right.
And like a lot of, like, I think so many people write about it, but it's every single one is so different, because what home means to you and like everything around that looks different for each person. And so I always feel like a songwriter's home song is such a beautiful and like revealing like glimpse into them, like into their heart and their soul. So yeah, thank you for sharing that and for tying it up with like this hopeful message.
Yeah, I mean, that's what was so perfect. I'm like, all of our last songs were very hopeful and loving.
Yeah.
And yeah, and like with Home too, like for me, like, I mean, I feel like the older you get and the more you travel and the more you experience loss and death and change and all of those things, that you begin to realize that home is not a place or a person or any specific thing. Like home is literally just, it's just you. It's where you are when you can find like the comfort or the joy or the peace or whatever inside of you. And there's so many other ways that you could word that, but that's my include everybody way of describing it.
Yeah.
The word in Spanish that describes that. Oh, sorry, Zach, what were you saying?
Said the old saying was, home is anywhere you hang your hat.
That's right. That's right. I believe that and I feel that. That's so true. What were you saying, kid?
There's a really cool word called querencia, which means all of that. Like, I think other languages have such a clear representation of what you're talking about, the immaterial place that is home. But it's just such like, it's so funny that American songwriters, we have to write so many songs because we have to educate people on what that is. But I imagine if you like showed that to somebody else in another part of the world, they're like, yeah, of course.
Did you said querencia?
Yeah, querencia. Yeah, I remember learning that as a kid, and like I'm really grateful that I know that word because of the encompassing meaning that it has. Like, yeah, it's all that stuff, and it's so cool that you can say that to somebody in a conversation in like 40 countries in the world, and they'll know exactly what you mean in one word.
Right, that's so true. Yay! Well, I just really quick want to thank everybody out there for watching and for commenting and for liking and for showing us your love. We will go through and check all your comments after this as soon as we have time if we didn't get to it. And again, if you're able to offer a donation, the information is in the description section of this event page, as well as each artist who performs. Social links, their Facebook link, their Instagram link are there. So definitely follow everybody. And again, if you guys just want to wave when I say your name, we had Zach Jones. Yes. And we had Jessica Gerhardt. And then we have Kid Lightning.
Woo woo.
Yes. And again, my name is Brenda Carsey. This was Circle Up #2. We'll be back next Tuesday, 7 p.m. on our Wonder Not Productions Facebook page. So you can tune in. It'll be different artists, and I'd love to have you back next week. And yeah, thank you so much out there, and we'll see you guys next week.
And